there is someone who is working specifically to help change that. And I'm going to tell you about the Removal Coalition and also the rally, which is coming up on November 22nd in Washington, D.C. And there's no person better to do that as we go on.
The Mark Thompson Show.
Jessica Denson is going to join me right now on the Mark Thompson Show and tell us exactly what is going to be happening in Washington, D.C. on November 22nd, the Removal Coalition, and what we should expect. Jessica, a pleasure to see you and talk to you. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing well. Nice to meet you, Mo Kelly. I've never met before.
I'm glad we get to have this conversation. Now, I am someone who admittedly is a cynic. I can be somewhat critical of demonstrations which may be heavy on symbolism, might not have the substance to attach to it. Correct me, please. Disabuse me of that notion in this moment.
This protest is to disabuse everyone of that notion because we are doing something very, very different here. This is distinct from No Kings. It's distinct from any of the previous mass protests that you've seen, in that we are showing up with an explicit demand. We are showing up to explicitly reclaim the power that is vested in we the people and demand that our lawmakers, who are subservient to us, act to impeach and remove this illegal regime, beginning with Donald J. Trump. So we're going to start on Thursday with what we expect to be record-breaking in-person lobbying of Congress, where we are going to go into the halls of Congress peacefully, the antithesis of what happened on January 6th, led in a march by Representative Al Green. And we are going to show up unmistakably in their faces, pleasantly but unmistakably, with the demand that they take action to remove this ludicrous administration from power.
I know you will have Democratic support, probably unanimous Democratic support in that regard.
No.
Really?
No, wouldn't that be lovely? Wouldn't that be lovely if we had unanimous Democratic support? If we had unanimous Democratic support, I don't think we'd have to do this rally.
Okay, Jessica, you're gonna have to name some names. You got to give me at least some reasons why the Democrats seemingly are unanimous against Trump publicly, but you're saying privately not so much.
Privately, they whip their members against impeachment efforts. And they have tried up until recently to punt this conversation to the midterms, which is a fool's errand if there ever was one. We know that Donald Trump is doing everything in his power and outside of his power to try to rig the midterm election so that he wins no matter what. And the House does not shift control. Up until now, the last time an impeachment vote was forced in this administration, the only time, by Representative Al Green over the summer, the Democratic leadership, Hakeem Jeffries, Jamie Raskin, Nancy Pelosi, all of the names that you expect to be the leaders in that caucus, were whipping their members against voting for impeachment. They voted to table it. So we have to start. I mean, we talk about moving Republicans, but for God's sakes, they're welcoming Marjorie Taylor Greene. If you're welcoming MAGA, if you're welcoming Marjorie Taylor Greene, why don't you start doing what's right within your own caucus first and stop whipping against the actual actions that are needed to hold this authoritarian president accountable?
What I hear as far as the conventional wisdom of politics, this is not my belief, but this is what I hear from Democrats who say that as a practical matter, we do not have control of the House of Representatives where impeachment remains. And we know that Speaker Johnson is never going to bring articles of impeachment to the floor. Why waste that political capital for, in a practical matter, something which is not going to happen? You're not going to get the majority support of the House, and you're not going to get 2/3 removal support in the Senate. So isn't this just an exercise in futility?
Says who? Says who? I mean, what is politics anyway? What is it? What are we all doing out here? Are we just sitting here to be told by people who are spineless and cowardly what can and cannot be done? I just refuse to accept that construct of politics. I thought politics was a game of persuasion and pressure and moving the needle. And these people in Congress are supposedly supposed to be leaders. They are elected to uphold their oath to the Constitution every single day of the week, not on days when they have the votes. And I'm just first of all, we only have to move a handful in the House to get a majority vote, to get articles of impeachment out of the House. There's a lot of misunderstanding about House rules and how the articles of impeachment would begin. Any single member of Congress, any single day of the week, even when the government was shut down, could have filed an article of impeachment. And this is a special privilege that any single House member has. They can invoke Rule 9, which says that if an article of impeachment is filed, they can force a vote within 2 days on that article of impeachment. Any member, doesn't have to be in the majority, doesn't have to be on a committee, anyone. That is extremely powerful. Can you imagine if the Democrats were united? You started off saying you have the Democrats united. I'm like, no, we don't. But can you imagine if we had the Democrats united, that entire caucus messaging to the world that we are actually taking action against this regime? That leadership that people are so desperate for, that people were fed up a week ago when those 8 senators caved up, on the shutdown. That spine that people are desperate for, they would be rallied behind. They would be lauded as heroes if they started to take that. And then we use that momentum, we use that narrative shift to then work on the other side, to then work on the Republicans that we have to move. Do we have to move, 17 members or something like that in the Senate? Yeah, 17 mere mortals. 17 mere mortals are holding the future of American democracy hostage, and we have no agency to do something about it. I refuse to act from that premise and that construct.
You make some great points, and I want to follow up on that. When you say the politics of persuasion and also pressure, and I know that feeds into what is happening this week leading into November 22nd. My question is, how much or how little do the events on Capitol Hill with Jeffrey Epstein right now either help or hinder what you're trying to do?
Oh my God, they help 100%. First of all, you're seeing the cracks within that so reliably loyal base of Donald Trump in the halls of power in Congress. You're seeing those cracks already. I'm hearing talk that we may even see a unanimous vote on the discharge petition. That obviously works against him. People are going to, at the end of the day, yes, these people have acted out of extreme cowardice. God knows probably countless of them have been blackmailed by Donald Trump or members of the administration. I mean, this is the Roy Cohn playbook, right? Probably something he's been doing for years. But if their names at the end of the day are tied to what turns out to be the revelations of a child pedophile, a child rapist, who is in the White House, which has been such an issue that MAGA in particular has lauded against and been champions of defending, the innocent children who are victims of sex crimes. Do you think that they want to go down in history as having been tied to that? I think this is perfect timing for us. It's ripe. It's ripe. We are ripe for removal right now.
I agree with everything you say. I'm cynical because I would have thought the exact same thing after January 6th. It's like, look, there were cracks in the Republican support. You had Mitch McConnell out there saying, and even Lindsey Graham offering their criticisms of the president and also laying blame at his feet. And then we saw the future, how it turned out.
And who failed us then? Who failed us then? Let's get real about this. Who failed us then? The Democratic administration failed us. Merrick Garland failed us. Those who were on our own side, who were supposed to be saving democracy, were so scared of what it was going to look like. They had to get back to quote unquote normal. Well, is this what quote unquote normal looks like, for God's sakes? I mean, they need to wake the hell up. I really think, and this is the comparison that's been made that I think is really apt. People have talked about what the Tea Party did to the Republicans, a decade ago or whatever it was, and they basically hijacked them, and they were the inception of what has become MAGA. I really believe this is a moment when we have to, as pro-democracy, whether we call ourselves Democrats or independents, I'm a nonpartisan voter. I've been friggin' cheerleader for the Democrats up until this administration because I just can't stand the spinelessness. But we need to, those of us on the pro-democracy side, we really need to hijack the Democratic Party and whip them into action. We have to do
November
it.
20, November 22nd, remove the regime. You had started talking about some of the events and things which are leading up to it this week. Let's talk more in earnest. Go ahead. I stepped on you before. Tell me more about
You're good.
remove the regime.
You're good. You're good. No, we're going to kick off. Oh my goodness. What is today? Tuesday, 2 days from now. I'm so excited. First of all, we have this incredible team behind the scenes making this happen, from Flair, from Remember Your Oath, from American Opposition, 5051 DC. I'm going to get in trouble because I'm not going to be able to name all of our partners, but we have such an incredible grassroots, truly grassroots, no national indivisible or anything like that backing us. We are going to start off on Thursday morning, 10 a.m. kickoff rally from Flair headquarters outside of Union Station. And then we are going to march in what, like I said, what we expect to be record-breaking numbers to Congress. Guides will divide us into groups. We will go organized into the different office buildings, Cannon, Russell, Longworth, Rayburn, and we will deliver our very unambiguous demands for impeachment and removal. Then on Friday, we are going to have a veterans rally hosted by Jolly Good Ginger of Remember Your Oath, with a ton of incredible veterans, several of them candidates, all who are pro-impeachment, all who are saying, listen, buddies, if you don't do your job right now, we're coming for your job. And we are going to file impeachment on day one when we get sworn in and take that oath.
I'm curious about the type of responses you might have received from both Democratic and Republican members of Congress right now. I know that spinelessness is not just limited to the Democrats. I know that cowardice is something which has been associated with Congress for quite some time. And I know that members of Congress will run and avoid the public spectacle. They will avoid the town halls. They will avoid the questions from media. My question to you is, since they know that this is coming, how do you know that they will be there and not running home to their home districts?
They might not be there. And, you know, we've actually done this before. We almost broke a record back in September. So we are veterans at this point. It actually doesn't matter if they're there. They're going to hear about it. We're going to put it all over social media. They won't be able to avoid it, whether they're there or not. We're going to get our message across, and we're going to get our message to them and the media, and with your help, the world. And that's what we're doing on Saturday, November 22nd. We need the masses, especially, my friends, if you are in the DC region, if you are in Baltimore, Philly, Richmond, anywhere within driving distance of DC, please spread the word. We're going to converge peacefully on DC. We have a rally at an iconic location at the Lincoln Memorial at noon on Saturday, headlined by the Dropkick Murphys. They're coming in from their European tour straight to us for this rally. Another incredible artist, Earth to Eve, is performing. We've got speeches from Harry Dunn, Michael Fanone, myself, Kat Abu-Ghazaleh, the candidate who is under federal indictment for her activism in Chicago, John Pavlovitz, Cliff Cash, who's my friend, comedian who's been organizing with me, a number of us giving a rousing rally that we hope reverberates across the whole world with your help. If we can converge the masses in DC on Saturday, we want to wake up the next day and be having a different conversation about what needs to be done.
You put the all call out for people to come to Washington, D.C., but we sold the QR code, but I know that there are links that you can give out as well for people who want to be actively involved beyond the event, inclusive of the event, but want to stay engaged and stay part of this movement. How can they go about doing that?
Yeah, they can do that at, you have removetheregime.com up on the website. If you want to support us financially, that would be amazing. This is a very, very heavy lift. Just before I got on this show, I'm paying $10,000 invoices off to get this done. So it's a very, very expensive. Not one of us is making a dime. Everybody is donating our time and blood, sweat, and tears to pull this off. So you can help us there. Also, you can go to removalcoalition.org, which is the organization I founded to bring together these grassroots orgs that are committed to impeachment and removal. My founding organization is 14th Now, which I started back in January. And you can that links from the Removal Coalition website. And if you want to sign up for our list, you can do that there. Follow my work at removetheregime.com, Removal Coalition on Instagram and Blue Sky, and my show Lights On, which is where you will always get news of what we have going on.
Jessica, I have a bit of breaking news. I just want to let the audience know, if they don't know, that the Epstein vote has passed almost unanimously in the
Wow.
House. Now,
Wow.
do you interpret that in any way, that it was on almost unanimous as opposed to along party lines? You said earlier that this would be something which is
Yeah.
helpful in your endeavors, but do you take anything away from the nature of the vote, how it happened?
I'm telling you, we've been looking for that line for so long that people are not willing to cross. And I know one thing after another has happened in the Donald Trump sphere where we have thought this is it. People will not be able to stand behind this. And I mean, we're witnessing history right now. We're seeing a moment where they absolutely cannot, with it looks like one exception, find themselves tied to covering up what are the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein and, my God, like very, very likely Donald Trump. So this is historic. I think we have to seize on this momentum and energy. We cannot let it be normalized that we have this man who is an adjudicated sexual predator, who is clearly someone who was Epstein's best friend, a convicted felon. We can no longer allow that to be normalized, that this man is running our country and supposedly the leader of the free world.
I agree with everything you said, but I also know that this is a patriarchal society. I wonder, as far as your support, your groundswell of support, the people who you've heard from most as you get ready to go to Washington, D.C. at the end of this week, are you hearing more from women than men, or is it mostly men? Give me a sense of the support and what they're saying to you.
You know what I love about our coalition, Mo? It is so diverse. It is men, it is women, it is LGBTQ, it is straight, it is old, it is young, it is all across the spectrum, the support that we have. And I just feel like, I'm a woman, and I know there are certain of us in this that feel like it is the female energy that has to lead us out of this. That said, we have some extraordinary male allies in this fight. So I really feel like it's a broad coalition, and women are being vindicated. I will tell you that.
Jessica Denson, before I let you go, I want you to see, and I want everyone to see, the finalization of this vote itself. And then before I let you go, I want you one more time to let everyone know the information of how they can get involved, where they can get involved, and more. Can you do that for me?
Sure, will do. Of course.
All right, go ahead, Tony.
On this vote, the yeas are 427, the nays are 1. 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended, the bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
There you have it. Do we know, Kim? Let me bring you in. Kim, do we know who was the one nay vote?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Technically, 1 no vote, 5 didn't vote.
Abstentions.
So 3 Democrats and 2 Republicans didn't vote.
Okay, but I want to know who that nay was. I want to know who's going to be in that fecal storm for the rest of the day. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Speaker Johnson.
It actually was not. The person who was the lone nay vote was Congressman Clay Higgins of Louisiana, who was very much behind President Trump. He was the sole House member to vote against this measure. So that's Clay Higgins of Louisiana.
Color me unsurprised.
Who is apparently okay with the harm of children.
Yeah,
how we look at that.
It could not be any easier for you. You can be late to this party, but you still got to show up to the party. I don't get it. But, Jessica, I don't want to step on our last moments of our conversation. If you could, please, again, let everyone know how they can be part of this movement.
What a moment to witness with you. I mean, that was incredible. That was truly incredible. They can go to removetheregime.com. Let's put the nail in this coffin, proverbially, of course. and get this done. Removetheregime.com. All the details are there. Please, my friends, this is your chance to take your place in history, to reclaim your power, to reject these false narratives that we don't have agency to control the levers of government that are given to us to control. Show up with us on November 22nd. This is going to be a moment that, with your help, changes the course of the future of the free world. So we're looking forward. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of everybody that's poured their heart and soul into this. And we're gonna kick this off in 2 days from now.
Jessica Denson, founder of the Removal Coalition. I salute you on all that you are attempting to do. I wish you nothing but success. And you're going to have to come back on the Mark Thompson show afterward and let us know how everything turned out.
I will. Nice to meet you, Mo Kelly. I'll have to meet you again too.
Absolutely. Hopefully we can do it in person. Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.